After a whole lot of laps and a whole lot of hot dogs, we finally have our Championship 4 contenders after what I would consider to be a classic race at Martinsville Speedway. Let's talk about it. Hey everyone, it's Taylor Kitchen and welcome back to Above the Yellow Line on the ATYL Media channel. And as you can see, I'm here at Martinsville where NASCAR just determined their Championship 4 for the Cup Series event, the Xfinity 500. And I guess to kick it off, it starts off with the winner of William Byron leading 304 of the 500 laps to lock himself into the championship fight. And the path for William Byron to get here might have seemed easy, seeing that he won Stage 1, won Stage 2, led the most laps. But the driver he was fighting against to get this spot was Ryan Blaney, who was in a must-win situation. And we know Blaney's good at this track. He's won the past 2 seasons in this race to lock himself into the Championship 4. So it wasn't easy, and even Jeff Gordon post-race said, I didn't think any driver could win from a starting position of 31st at this track, but Ryan Blaney had me a little bit worried. It came to a last race restart. It came even before that to when William Byron put the bumper to the 12 car of Ryan Blaney to get position on him, and from that point on, there was no looking back. This was Ryan Blaney's race to unfortunately lose because William Byron was just that good. William Byron got the lead on lap 457, and it was really hard to keep it, especially considering that a Spire Motorsports driver caused a late race caution that Jeff Gordon did actually make a funny comment on. It was Carson Osevar spinning with around 18 laps to go. And of course, a late race caution in Martinsville is going to set up a dramatic finish to the end. Luckily this time actually didn't happen, but you always have that in your mind. The last thing you want to see as a driver leading these races, especially when it means a spot in the final event of the season for a title, is that caution. So Jeff Gordon said, you mean the third time the 77 wrecked or spun? It was a really funny moment. Obviously, because of that relationship between Spire Motorsports and Hendrick Motorsports, that cause of the cautions, a little awkward, I'm going to assume, because Spire Motorsports had a lot of cautions that involved their own drivers together. That Monday meeting is going to be very unfortunate or just awkward for them. But for Hendrick Motorsports, my goodness, hey, 2 of their drivers are locked into the Championship 4. No complaining there. They made it happen. And that brings me to which drivers are in our Championship 4. Of course, we already knew Chase Briscoe and Denny Hamlin were locked in after their wins respectively at Vegas and then at Talladega. And then, of course, we have William Byron with this win. And then the last driver to make the Championship 4, Kyle Larson. So 2 Hendrick drivers, 2 Jacobs Racing's drivers, a battle of the Titans. And Jeff Gordon said, I feel this championship is wide open because for the first time since 2021, there will be no Penske driver fighting for a championship at Phoenix. Feels kind of odd. Not going to lie, we kind of had an even odd year thing going. It looked like Blaney was going to win his way in, but it just isn't so. We talked to Joey Logano after the race, and Joey just said, we just weren't good enough. There's going to be no Ford in the Championship 4, no Penske, and he was just dejected. I would be too, to be quite honest with you. But we're seeing a battle of the Titans with Hendrick Motorsports and Jacobs Racing. And something really cool that happened during Jeff Gordon's post-race press conference was he said he got a text message from the president of Jacobs Racing, Dave Alpern. Dave said that he was honored to be fighting for a title against the Hendrick Motorsports drivers, and Jeff shared the same sentiment. So a very cool moment there. But here are some stats about your Championship 4 drivers: Briscoe, Hamlin, Kyle Larson, and William Byron. If you look at this Championship 4 and you look at their stats, this has to be one of the most competitive Championship 4 groups the Cup Series has had in quite a few years. Denny Hamlin is the season wins leader. Chase Briscoe, the season's top 5 leader. You have Kyle Larson, second in laps led and top 5s and top 10s. And of course, you have William Byron, who just won this race as the regular season champ, as well as the season's laps-led leader. This all comes from a tweet from Jeff Gluck. So if you didn't think this Championship 4 was competitive, think again. I know some people are going to say, but wait, Taylor, look at the Winston title standings. It has Christopher Bell near the top, at the top. I know. But we have something competitive this year. I think it's going to be really exciting to see what these 2 groups bring to Phoenix. There is some concern here, though. There were 2 DNFs this race that were notable to talk about. Talking about Denny Hamlin and Chase Briscoe. Both of their engines expired, and you have to wonder, were they trying something different to see if they can get a competitive edge at Phoenix? I don't know. Part of me thinks that's probably the case, but a little concerning because you want to take positive momentum into the championship race. And right now, with 2 early exits from Martinsville, you have to wonder, does that shake their confidence a little bit? So we'll have to see what they bring to Phoenix, because it's no secret too that Joe Gibbs Racing, when they've come to the Cup Series finale at Phoenix, they've had some mechanical issues in the past. So hopefully those mechanical gremlins do not follow them this year. Let's look at the rest of your top 10, though. William Byron first, of course. Ryan Blaney second. We have Chase Elliott in third. Unfortunately, will not advance to fight for a championship at Phoenix. He said that getting trapped a lap down due to an untimely caution just really threw off their day. Fourth, Ross Chastain's playing spoiler to this plethora of playoff drivers that we have inside the top 10, because right after him is Kyle Larson. Ryan Preece, the birthday boy yesterday, getting inside the top 10, finishing in sixth. Christopher Bell, seventh. Joey Logano, 8th, Todd Gilliland, 9th, and Josh Berry, 10th. And a quick note about Todd Gilliland's finishing position. This is his first top 10 at a non-super speedway track this season since Indianapolis Motor Speedway. So really good result for him and that team. Let's close this out by rating this race above or below the yellow line. Listen, I felt it was a classic Martinsville race. Yes, one driver dominated the entire thing, but there was no shortage of action from start to finish in the mid-pack. You also saw this new tire mattered. You saw earlier in the race, Michael McDowell, he decided to take 2 tires while the rest of the field took 4. Well, you saw him start in that first position on that restart, and he plummeted all the way back really fast. I think I counted he went back to 22nd in the span of like 18 laps, which feels like nothing here at Martinsville. So overall, I thought it was a decent race. I'm glad to see that William Byron won after I feel like a season of dominating races and not really winning any, if not most of them. So ultimately, good stories here too, but the racing I thought was pretty good, a step in the right direction for the short track package and short track racing here that the Gen 7 cars have. I'm going to give this a 76% above the yellow line. So what did you think of the Xfinity 500? Let me know in the comments below. And everyone, can you believe it? We are already at the end of the season. Next weekend, NASCAR crowns their champions across Truck, Xfinity, and Cup. And I'm going to say right now, if certain drivers don't win in Truck and Xfinity, I'm going to have some things to say. So make sure to tune in to all of our social media platforms and right here on the ATYL Media channel for everything NASCAR and motorsports related. But thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll chat next time when we've crowned our 2025 champs. Take care. Bye.